Well, hello friends. Today I'm going to take a look at the Azure Chat Solution Accelerator powered by Azure Open AI Service. It's something like ChatGPT, but using Azure Open AI. And I've already started the bicep deployment, so we shouldn't have to wait too much on that. And before I show you the command, I went into the main parameters.json in infra, changed the name value and the location value. Then I ran this command, aset deploy sub for subscription, create location Sweden Central, template file main.bicep, and the parameters. And when I ran it, I had to choose what Azure OpenAI region to use, and in my case I chose number 3. And we should now be able to see that we have something here. So an app service plan has been deployed, Azure Cosmos DB account, document intelligence, key vault, an app service, Azure OpenAI, and a search service. And if we take a look at the app service, my best guess is that we have some kind of configuration here that should point to the different endpoints. Yeah, it looks like that. So we have the Cosmos DB URI, we have the OpenAI API instance name, so that looks good. So let's figure out how to actually deploy the application, because if I go to the site, nothing happens. Sorry for the flashbang. So if we go into deploy to Azure, deployment options, Azure portal deployment, Azure developer CLI, well, let's figure this out. We have the documents, deploy to Azure, and in this case they talk about doing it with the GitHub actions. Well, I don't want to do it with GitHub actions, so let's look at the actions and see how they actually work. So we have a build step, and that's just check out, set up node, make sure you have version 18, which we do. Then you run these commands, so all right. Oh. I had to go into the source directory. And then we should build. So let's give it a few seconds. Let's build it. And when we built it, we should go back from the source directory. I'm not sure how long that actually will take, but we'll see. It will be interesting at least to see what happens. Creating an optimized production build feels really safe. And my idea here is that we should just in some way compile the node stuff, or at least package it up and then deploy it to this web app. And when that's done, something may work if we're lucky. Collecting page data. And it looks like we're done, so let's go back to the root folder. Then we should copy something to site deploy. Alright. And then we should copy, so the first one was something standalone, then the static content, this looks like something .next, then the public. We should go into the site deploy and zip everything up. Oh. Yes, please. For some reason I didn't have zip installed on my computer, but that was easy to solve. Alright, diagnostics, yay. Upload artifact, well, that feels like something we don't need to do right now. Download the artifact, log in to Azure, and I'm quite sure that I'm logged into Azure using Azure CLI. Then we should do something like this. App service name. Secret. Alright, we will need to do it like this. Let's change this to the app service name. Should be this one. So instead of the GitHub secret, we should do it like this. Now we should have the resource group name. Let's see if that worked. Yeah, that worked. Then we should set the app settings SCM do build during deployment. We tell the web app not to run any builds during deployment. And the last step should be to create the set the startup file. All right. And when we've done all that, what's the next step? Sleep for 10 seconds. All right. And then we want to do the web apps deploy v2. Well, that should be some kind of command in the background. So let's figure that out. What does it actually do? Web apps deploy. Oh. Well, let's see. We web app Do we have, well, we do have the deploy command here. That's nice. Let's start with name, and we should have this name and this resource group. All right. And what else should we do? Can we point to the package or something like that? Restart slot source path. And next GS site zip. All right. Let's see what happens. Oh, deployment type zip to override deployment type. All right, thank you. Let's give it a couple of seconds or minutes, depending on what size we're running. Oh, we're running a premium. Oh, that should go faster then. All right. When we've done that, perhaps we should look into, well, let's start with like trying to just access it. All right, something was deployed at least. What happens when we try to access it now? Not a failure to start with. That's awesome. Well, let's do Microsoft. Well, that's not so nice of it. GitHub. Well, that didn't work either. Well, my best guess is we need to do some setup using Azure AD. We should create a new registration. Accounts in this. All right. Let's go to Azure Active Directory. I actually prefer ad.portal.azure. Can't remember. entra.microsoft.com. All right. We should create a new registration. Oh, this is really light, but I don't want to use something that light in the evening. App registrations, new registration. They told us to give it an application name. Well, super duper chat. Well, that's awesome. And then supported account types, accounts in this organization directory only. Well, that looks good. Redirect to platform web, and then we should point it to perhaps our site. Oh, we can just copy this. I don't want to have the local host, but let's do it like that. Register. All right. Oh, they had the production. Well, that seems fine. Up to date, and we should create copy the client ID and admin email address. Local Azure Service email report. All right. So we need to set client ID, client secret, tenant ID. Well, let's do that then. So we should now create a secret. I will remove this secret after the recording. And let's go into, let's see, where should we put this? We'll just put it here to begin with. And we need the client ID. And the client ID should be the client ID from here. And then we should have the tenant ID as well. And we should also set up the admin email address, and that should be something like let's see if we can figure that one out. Let's see if it's actually this one or not. Alright, and now let's go back to the web app. Look at the configuration, and we should need to set the client ID, client secret, tenant ID. Azure, alright. New application setting, client ID. New application setting, client secret. Tenant ID. And last but not least, admin email. Alright, and save, continue. Well, let's see if that works. Now we've saved it. We should most likely restart it as well. And let's see what happens. Let's give it a minute or two. Alright, what happens now? Well, we do get the super duper chat. Let's accept that we use it, and welcome to the Azure Chat Solution Accelerator. Well, that's awesome. Thank you. I want something creative, general. Let's zoom. What is the meaning of life, the universe, and everything? The meaning of life, the universe, and everything is a concept introduced by Douglas Adams' science fiction series, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. 42. Alright, it's working. We have a new chat here. What else do we have in here? What's the meaning of life? Conversation. So we can see chat report here. Seems like we can do stuff. Oh, that looks good. Let's try to chat with a file. Perhaps we should download an RFC. RFC 2324. And let's download that as PDF. Let's download that PDF and let's upload it, see if that works. Indexing document. Oh, that's cool. Let's see how long that takes then. All right, that's awesome. What status code does a teapot return if asked if it's Alright, let's see. What is status HTTP status 418? Huh? HTTP status code 418 is a humorous code. Well, it could have found that, but it seems like we're chatting with something here. I wonder if it's meant to give references to what parts of the document, but I could upload it. It seems like something happened in the background. Let's check it out. We go into cognitive search. There we go. Let's look at the indexes. Azure Chat. Document count. Nothing. That's weird. Search. Well, yeah, we do have it here, so that's awesome. And we do have the embedding as well. Awesome. So what happened in the background, or at least my best guess is that when we upload the file, it's sent to Document Intelligence. Document Intelligence converts it to text, and then we take this text and we create an embedding from it. Let's see how many we create. So it seems like perhaps we created 2 or something like that. Yeah, search score 1. So it creates at least 1 or a couple of chunks. So it chunks up the data. It looks like perhaps 3. So it chunks up the text we get from Document Intelligence, and then we send that to the text embedding service in OpenAI, and we convert those chunks to vectors or embeddings. And then we store these embeddings with the text inside of cognitive search. and then when we ask a question, this question is also converted to vectors. We most likely do a search, a vector search or hybrid search of this question, and extract some or all of the information or chunks and insert it into the question we send to GPT. So that's called the Retrieval-Augmented generation. But this seems to be working. Really cool. So I think that's it for today. Seems to be working. Looks quite nice, to be honest. And yeah, I will remove everything now and remove the secrets so you can't use it. Well, that's it for today. Thank you and bye.